Deborah Johnson. Welcome back to my channel. Thanks for joining me again today. As you know, on this channel, I share spiritual encouragement such as godly relationship advice, words of encouragement, and teachings with the aim of helping you to live a life of total surrender unto the Lord. And if you are blessed by this channel, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. And also leave me a comment down below. I would love to know your thoughts on today's video. So, today, I am back with another Dear Deborah letter. This is Dear Deborah letter number 15. And I've titled this letter Communication Issues. And when I read the letter, you'll see why. So I'm going to go ahead and read the letter and then I will give my response to it. And I don't think this video will be very long. It's pretty straightforward. All right. So it says, "Good evening, Deborah. I believe I've heard God tell me who my future husband is. We met online. It started great. We had great conversations, but I had some red flags. He was communicating with me since the beginning. I recalled we had a serious conversation. He told me if I was willing to move to Maryland. I currently reside in New York. By the way, I'm a teacher. I have all my credentials in New York. I've told him I do not mind moving, but it will take me at least 2 years to move. The rush was he was ready for marriage. I'm ready as well. He told me he needed some time to think about things, that I did not give him space and time. After 2 weeks passed, I texted him. It was a long wait. Then I texted him again. He told me that he was thinking about things, but he did not know. He prayed. Okay, so on Saturday, I texted him. I told him he needs to communicate with me. He texted me, I'm just sitting things out. We have two opposing views. I do not know how to feel about his statement. I've told him to pray to God. I've told him if it was because of me being far away and I was willing to move and ready for marriage. So she asked him if he was not communicating with her because she wasn't willing to move right away, but she said that she was willing and ready for marriage. She was willing to move, but just not right away. She is ready for marriage. All right, I hope that made sense. Okay, so my response to this is number one, I'm not sure why you, the young lady, you feel like you would need 2 years before moving. It wasn't explained in the letter. But if you do feel like it's a substantial reason, if you feel like it's for a good reason, then he should be willing to wait, right? And he should be willing to wait. And I encourage you to uh, explain to him. I don't know if you've explained to him fully why you want to wait 2 years, why you need 2 years. Maybe he doesn't understand. Maybe he just thinks that you're not really ready. If it is for a good reason, try explaining that to him and perhaps that would help him better understand. One thing that I can say is that 1 Corinthians 13 lets us know that love does not insist its own way, right? So love is not forceful. So even after you've explained to him, if he's still insisting his way or the highway, it lets you know that he's not really walking in love. When you really love someone, you consider the needs of you consider their needs, you consider the needs of other people. And the next thing is to ask him to share with you what exactly the issue is, right? He should be willing to communicate with you. Hey, this is the issue. This is how I feel. This is what's going on with me. Let's talk this out. Ask him to explain what is the issue. Ask him again. I don't know if you have asked him. And one thing that I see here is that his response or the lack thereof of him really fully communicating with you what the issue is and him kind of like cutting you off and just not talking. It's almost like he had a temper tantrum. His response is a huge sign, right? When you're sure about someone, you don't just cut off communication because you don't see eye to eye. When you're sure about someone, you're willing to communicate with them so that you can see eye to eye. You're willing to explain your side, allow the other person to explain their side. So the fact that he's not doing this, the fact that he's not mature enough to sit and talk this out with you, is a huge sign of where he is. It shows that maybe he's not that great of a communicator. It shows that maybe he's used to having his way in relationships. And if things don't go his way, he's just like, whatever. Maybe he's, a manipulator. It's just a huge sign. I'm not going to say that he is, but it's telling, that he's not willing to talk it out like a mature adult. And that's just what I see. So if you guys were to get married, you really have to consider how will he respond when things don't go his way, right? How will he respond when maybe he says, "Hey, I want to do this," and you're like, "No, I don't," and he's not willing to ask you, "Okay, why?" Or he's not willing to tell you why he wants to do his way, and he just kind of like stops talking. He just, just goes silent on you. If he responds this way while you guys are just at this stage, imagine how he would respond after you get married. That's why I'm saying, speak to him again and ask him, hey, what exactly is the issue? Can you communicate this to me? And also, I encourage you to communicate your point of view of why you need or want those 2 years, right? Maybe it has something to do with your career field. I don't know. Just explain that to him if he's willing to hear it. And if after you've gone to him and asked him to explain his side and you want to explain your side and he's not willing to do that at all, girl, just leave it alone. Just leave it, because he's not someone who can't communicate is not ready for marriage. If they cannot communicate with you like a mature man, like a mature woman, they are not ready for marriage. There's some immaturity there. And like I said, he may be used to just having things his way. It's either his way or the highway, and that doesn't work in any relationship. It just doesn't work. Eventually, the other person gets tired and they feel like they're being forced and they're being dragged along, and they feel like they're being manipulated, because it is a type of manipulation. Even if they don't intend to manipulate, it is still a form of manipulation to say, it's my way, and if you don't do it my way, then I'm just going to stop talking to you. That the silent treatment is a form of manipulation. And also consider if you've noticed a pattern of this, because you said that you've seen red flags. I'm not sure if the other red flags have to do with this, but if you've noticed a pattern of this, of him shutting down when things don't go his way, that's a huge sign, right? And that is, if anything, confirmation to you that, he does have these issues. And also, have you prayed about him? Right now is a good time to pray. If you don't have peace about it, definitely don't move forward. If God hasn't told you anything about it, definitely don't move forward. Sometimes God will allow things like this to happen to keep us away from the wrong person, the wrong place, the wrong thing. And it's often said that sometimes man's rejection is God's protection. So the fact that this man is kind of like giving you the silent treatment, it could be God honestly protecting you from what could happen. So don't feel anxious. Don't feel like, man, it could have, should have, would have. Like, don't feel like that. If anything, if you talk to him again and things don't work out, it's most likely God is telling you just leave that alone. He's not the one. He's not ready. So again, communicate with him one last time. And if he's not willing, just move on. Never, ever, ever, ever chase a man. Like, do not ever chase a man. A real man, when a man is really sure about you, he is willing to work it out, right? He's willing to work it out. And if this man is not willing to even hear you out and he's not willing to share his point of view, leave him alone. Don't chase him. Just let it go. Also, don't move forward with the relationship if you do not have peace, which I've shared. If you don't have any peace at all, don't move forward. And if you don't have peace about moving to another state, like whatever your reason is for wanting the 2 years, if you don't have peace about like saying, okay, I'll move right now, or I'll move within 3 months, or I'll move within 6 months, if you don't have peace with that time frame, don't do it. Don't ever feel forced to do something to keep someone. Don't feel forced to do something that isn't right for you to keep someone, right? That's never right. In a loving relationship, there's compromise. You give and you take. You're willing to let go of some things to help the other person and vice versa. But if he's not even willing to hear you out and you know that you need those 2 years, definitely don't give into that pressure to do that. So that's my advice for this person. I hope that this encourage the writer of this letter and others who may be dealing with a similar thing. And I think the theme here is look at his patterns, look at his communication or lack thereof, and ask yourself, you know better than I do because you've only written just a few things here. Ask yourself, is it worth it? Ask yourself, is this telling of who he really is? And do I have peace from God? What has God told me about this? What is God trying to show me? And then move according to that. So that is all for today's video. That is today's letter. If you would like to send me a Dear Deborah letter, you can go ahead and send me an email at heartofworship2010@gmail.com. That is heartofworship2010@gmail.com. And please put the subject Dear Deborah Letter so that I know that it's specifically for these this video series. And also make sure you keep it brief. Please keep it brief. Don't let it be paragraphs and paragraphs and paragraphs, because if it is, I'm most likely not going to read it because I will not have the time, right? The longer that it is, the longer it's going to take to read and to get through and to respond to. So please try to keep it very brief and to the point. All right, so that is all for today's video. If you were blessed by this video, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe, and also leave me a comment down below if you have some advice for this young lady. You can share it down below. Just make sure it is godly biblical advice. And follow me on social media. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and I'm also now on TikTok. The links to everything is down below. I would love to connect with you guys on social media. And if you're a woman and you're looking for godly fellowship, spiritual growth, and accountability, I invite you to join Heart of Worship Ministry. It is a ministry that I lead. We meet every first, second, third, and fourth Thursday of the month. We have Bible study, a monthly teaching. We have prayer and fellowship night, and we meet on Zoom at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We also have a private Facebook page for the ladies, and you can find the link to everything down below. I would love to meet some of you on there. Shop the Heart of Worship collection. My husband and I have a faith-based apparel brand called Integrity by Design, and on there is a Heart of Worship collection that is directly birthed out of this ministry. We hope to put out more products in the future, in the near future, so you can find the link to that down below as well. So thank you for joining me for today's video. I hope to see you guys next time. Have a great day. Bye.